Ultron is out today, so let me teach you how to use them so you're not booty cheeks with them. He's so fun to play, bro. I'm telling you. Ultron is not a traditional support, so it led to a whole lot of slander on his name. And although I don't think he's insanely meta, any slight tweak or micro buff is going to make him disgusting. Listen to these tips. So I don't want to dive too much into his abilities because I already had a video on that, so let me quickly breeze through them. The best part of Ultron's kit by far is this left click. It can 2-tap supports and it has infinite range. It has a very slight fall off of about like 20%. His heal is a drone that he can place on anyone that can't be destroyed, has an AoE, and it heals everyone inside of it. So, you know, we'll talk about it later, but playing inside of it actually heals you as well. If you go out of LOS for 6 seconds, that heal drone will go away. His right click is a shielding ability that'll shield himself and allies, especially those afflicted by your AoE heal. His dash is a speed boost that makes him incredibly fast, one of the fastest flyers in the game, allowing him to play aggressively, but we'll talk about that in the tips. Note that his dash also gives him a shield, so if you use his dash and his right click, it gives him an additional 125 HP. The first tip I want to tell you for Ultron that is incredibly imperative, but also for flyers in general, is set up a descend and ascend button that you can play with effectively if you're on controller. If you have back paddles, it's really good for flight up and down. You know, juking vertically is really hard to hit, so when you have movement speed like this, Ultron is very effective in juking. Setting up a descend and ascend button is a must. The second tip is that his dash makes him incredibly quick, so you can actually play alongside something like a Magic, where you're able to put that drone on something like Magic who's going to go in and play aggressively. You can dash in and be hyper aggressive with your melees and your burst damage, and you two together will be a problem because Ultron is very hard to hit if you're maneuvering quickly with that movement speed. And playing inside your heal on a buddy that's diving with you can be a huge problem for the backline. And remember, you do get over health when you use that dash and shield, making you very difficult to challenge in 1v1s, especially when you're playing hyper aggro. The next tip, as you saw there, is weave in melees when you're playing aggressively on the backline, because it does make you very strong in burst damage, especially if you're pretty good at aiming and landing that click. His heal is an AoE like I mentioned, and you can shield obviously, but the key thing to note is if you want to play more poke with Ultron, if you don't have a dive comp, you can. I would just suggest that you play inside your heal, putting that on a frontline tank or somebody that's going to play a little more middle ground alongside your tanks, letting that AoE be around and hit as many people as possible, but playing inside that with your poke and allowing everyone to get healed up, giving you a chance to shield when need be during these fights. Ultron is also a very effective poke hero. You got to think of it like, you know, Adam Warlock's right click, imagine that at infinite range and all in one tick of damage on that final burst. Ultron's team up with Iron Man, although on surface level will look like a Jeff heal because Jeff's new team up ability allows his left click, his water, to actually deal damage now. So Ultron's is effectively the same thing, but you gotta note one major advantage is that it gives him his ult incredibly fast. Try to hit as many targets as possible. As you can see here, I'm only hitting 3 targets and I'm already at 40% in the first few seconds of me using this ability. It is insanely good at getting that ult back quick. Now let's speak about Ultron's ultimate. During Ultron's ultimate, he will get consistent slow-paced healing, so it's not really enough to stop you from getting bursted from poke heroes, so you do need to play around natural cover, but the advantage is you can use this ultimate from anywhere at any range, and it deals a significant amount of healing. It's actually something along the lines of 5 or 6 times the amount of Invisible Woman's ultimate. He shoots 5 bursts in each firing rotation, and he does it 5 times, so you got to remember that. But it allows you to do insane things like finding a vulnerable backline who may have used cooldowns, bursting them quickly, and then going back to a tank. And you can actually, just on one rotation alone, fully heal a tank. It's really strong at quick burst healing, so it can be used offensively and defensively. Although the healing is significantly larger, the ability to just put constant pressure on a backline who maybe don't have cooldowns out yet or have just used their ultimate is very effective because it is just so oppressive and it just deals constant AoE damage. The key takeaways I have with Ultron is make sure you play him properly depending on your team comp and what you're going against. He not only excels at a pretty strong poke hero with a ton of range damage and minimal fall off, but he also is pretty good at playing aggressively with some sort of brawly dive heroes. If you utilize your movement speed to your advantage, because you do have a fair amount of time with 8 seconds, you can actually do a ton of damage and get out before your movement speed is even done. Ulting when you see any sort of opportunity, just due to the fact you can get that ult back incredibly quickly, is the best way to think of his playstyle. Even if you're just trying to get 1 or 2 picks and then rotate to healing your team, that is so much value with an ultimate. I'm telling you, it's better than people think it is. And if it gets micro buff to deal more damage, it is going to be disgusting. That's going to do it for my Ultron guide. Likes, follow, shares, comments helps me out a ton. I'm probably live right now with drops for the new season. So drop over and say what's up. I'm going to put some gameplay on so you can check it out prior to the new season release. But I'll see you guys in the next one. He's so fun to play, bro. I'm telling you. I love how it does tick damage before the shot. See, I just shielded myself up there, chat. I was taking damage, I was getting low, and then I immediately got 175 additional HP, and I'm just melting them. He's so fun, dude. How far is his damage range for primary? Pretty damn far. It gets like maybe 20% reduced at like stupid long range. Can you show off the new map next match? Oh, yeah, I can go do an AI map. Yeah, and just go check it out. Good call, dude. We should definitely go check out the new map. Good call, good call. Forgot about that. Let's do that after this. Does he have any counters like Hella? Yeah, Hella will be good, but remember how the problem with Human Torch was that he had a lot of self-shielding with his dash away? Ultron has a lot of self-shielding. A lot, which is good against those anti-dives. Look how much damage. Do you see this, chat? Like, look at the... Jesus. He's fun. He's very fun. We'll see what he's like in game. I can't give materialist yet, guys. I need to see how he feels against a bunch of people and what comps he's good on. I'll make that decision as we get into the game for a couple weeks. I usually do my early season tier list like a week after the release. Can you teach the Lord of Ultron? I can teach the Lord. That was sick. Oh my god, he's one. Nice. Ooh. Ooh. Like, I don't think we have anyone to fight them. I'm not sure. Nice.